Hi, I'm Jack Draper. Shout out to QualityShot Tennis.
Hello people and welcome back to the channel. Roland Garros Power Rankings for the WTA side. You can see on screen we've got version 1 or edition 1. We're going to be updating it with our second edition today at 9th of May 2023, going into the Rome Open. So we've just had Madrid. On the WTA side, they didn't have Monte Carlo, but they had Stuttgart, and we'll be looking forward to, of course, Rome, which is a really good yardstick for Roland Garros, and going into then that Red Dirt Grand Slam. We're going to update it from 1 to 10. This list is going to change quite dramatically. And of course, those of you who've been watching will know Swiatek and Sabalenka have been dominating the clay court swing so far. Swiatek beat Sabalenka at the Stuttgart indoor tournament, the Porsche Tennis Grand Prix, and beat her in straight sets. And then Sabalenka beat her in 3 sets, got revenge in at Madrid. Quicker courts, altitude, outdoors, and won in 3 sets in the end. So a very good win for her and avenged her loss as well. And first win for Sabalenka on clay against Swiatek as well. Some interesting results for some of the other players. In all honesty, I think apart from the first 2 or top 2, it's going to be pretty tough. Really on who to pick, in all honesty. So for those who haven't watched these types of videos before, we mainly base this on current form. So this is a real form guide going into any slam, and then we do it for each Grand Slam a few weeks beforehand on the lead up tournaments as well, and ultimately give you guys then a final form guide going into the slam. And the second factor is how well they performed at this specific slam. So at Roland Garros, how they've done, and also how they looked on the clay courts, generally speaking, in their career. And then third, and the least important factor for me really, is how they've looked this year so far. And the reason I say that is because if you're not talking about clay courts, then people's form can fluctuate massively depending on the surface they play on the conditions. Okay, let's get into this then. So jabeur was my number 1. She's obviously not going to be my number 1 now. She will go down. Now, the question is who gets number 1, Sabalenka or Iga Swiatek? Now, Swiatek is the reigning champion at Roland Garros. But I think given that Sabalenka made the final against Swiatek and then beat her in 3 sets recently in Madrid, and also an outdoor tournament in Madrid as well, and has momentum going into it, I think we have to give her the top spot. And she also won the Australian Open, which again, that's a tertiary factor, you might say, but she does have form and she's arguably the best player this year so far. So I think Sabalenka at 2 and Swiatek, Sabalenka at 1 and Swiatek at 2. I think Sabalenka's got a lot of confidence. That could change in Rome. Swiatek is the reigning champion. But she's probably the favourite, I would say, as well, for that as well. So jabeur and Bencic will put down here for now, but that could very much change. Bencic was injured in Madrid, so she might not even be in the top 10. Number 3 now, I think Rybakina is tough. She's not had a good go of it. She's only won 1 match, lost 2. In the clay court swing so far. I don't think she is the best person to put at 3. Krejcikova also, despite winning Roland Garros in 2021, she lost in the round of 16 in Madrid to Martic, and then lost to Sabalenka, to be fair, in Stuttgart. So have to look at that. Trevor Sam in the semi-finals of Roland Garros last year. She lost to Haddon Mayer, got injured, to be fair, in Stuttgart first round. Lost to Pegula in the round of 16 in Madrid, and Jessica Pegula also has been pretty good. She's relatively consistent. Lost in the quarterfinals to Kudermetova in Madrid, and then played Charleston and lost to Bencic in the semi-finals. So she'll be in and around there. But I think at 3, I'm actually going to give it to Maria Sakkari. She made the semi-finals of Roland Garros 2021, and she does have some form on the clay. She does enjoy the service. I would argue that her best service is clay. Lost to Sabalenka in the semi-finals of Madrid. Lost in the first round to friends Stuttgart to Pliskova, but I do think she is a good clay courter. I think she's got the experience. She's got the know-how. She enjoys the surface. I think her game is suited as well to the surface. And look, she lost in the second round of Roland Garros last year, but she made the quarterfinals of Rome, losing to Jabeur, who was the eventual finalist at Rome last year as well. I'll put her at 3, but in honesty, it's as I said, from 3 down, you can pick these girls in any order, in honesty, and I wouldn't say that you're wrong or right. And it might be a completely different set of women as well. Now, number 4 is interesting because I put Ons Jabeur. Now, do I keep her there? I think we can. She's done pretty well, made the semi-finals of Stuttgart. She hasn't been able to play Madrid. She's playing Rome, so we can see how she gets on. We'll keep her there because she had a fantastic clay court swing last year. The only downside, of course, was losing the first round of Roland Garros, but she won Madrid. She made the final of Rome. She clearly likes the surf, so we'll keep her there for now. 5, I don't think Bencic should be there, but I don't know who should be there. I think maybe Pegula should be there. I think she's got the consistency. We were just talking about it now. But tough really to know exactly who to put there. In all honesty, I don't think, there's room for Bencic at the moment, given what's happened. And I know that she won, Charleston as well. So maybe she does have room there. Maybe she does have room there, given her results and look. I know she's been injured, but really her fault, is it? To be fair, it's a bit harsh to be like, I mean, she made the final, even of Charleston. So I think she beat Pegula, beat Alexandrova, beat Rogers, Sebov. Some good players there. Now, Badosa is in my outside list. Well, was in my outside list. And Madrid, she made the round of 16, losing to Maria Sakkari, but beat Coco Gauff, who was the Roland Garros finalist last year. She's been in terrible form though. Quarterfinal in Stuttgart, lost in 3 to Sabalenka. Made the final, of course, and then lost to Pegula in Charleston quarterfinal there as well. So I think she's got to be in there. I think it's safe to put her at 6, to be honest. And then I'll move Krejcikova down to 7. Rybakina will be in there just, but I'm going to put her in at maybe 10, as I don't think she should be much higher than that, in all honesty. Bencic, I think, can be in there instead of Kvitova. She lost in the first round and had to withdraw from another. Clay's courts are not really her scene. And then Kasatkina. I think Kasatkina is not a bad shout, to be honest, at 8, because she's been pretty solid for the most part. Madrid, round of 16, lost to Kudermetova. Stuttgart lost to Badosa. That's a really tough draw, though, first round. Charleston made the semi-finals. Beat Madison Keys, Pera, Brengel. I mean, that's fine. That's pretty good. I think, we have to talk about, I think Kudermetova should be on the outside as well. I think that's pretty fair to put her on the outside. Madison Keys, maybe just on the outside. Zheng Xinwen, that's me being a little bit, I think, ambitious to say the least. And Ostapenko, she's had some decent results, but in Madrid, I think she was underwhelming. Lost to Samsonova in the second round, and then lost in the round of 16 to Ons Jabeur, of course. Should have gone on to win that, honestly. But okay, I think I'm happy with that. Let's stick to this. So this is our second edition of the WTA Roland Garros Power Rankings. We've got Aryna Sabalenka at number 1, Iga Swiatek at number 2, Maria Sakkari at number 3, Ons Jabeur at 4, Jessica Pegula at 5, Paula Badosa at 6, Barbara Krejcikova at 7, Dasha or Daria Kasatkina at 8, Belinda Bencic at 9, and Alina Rybakina at number 10. Just outside there, and people that we're maybe keeping an eye on: Keys, Ostapenko, Zheng Xinwen, Alicia Parks, Kudermetova, and Leylah Fernandez. I'll also put in Andreescu. I think she's one to maybe look out for as well. Let me know your thoughts on who you have in your top 10 and who would have at number 1, and also whether you think there'll be someone in there that there's someone in that you think shouldn't be, or someone that I should have included. Let me know. Okay, cool. Thank you very much, guys. See you later.